All right, let's try this thing one more time, y'all. We gonna invite my people back in here, and this thing working now. Hopefully, whatever bug that was not allowing my people to be great is over with, and hopefully everything is good now. My man,
Can you see me?
we're good now. We're good now
All
so far,
right.
man. So we got one now, and my man Larry was in here too, and the same thing that happened to you happened to him. So hopefully he's able to tap back in, and hopefully we don't have any more of whatever that was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully not. I mean, it was my first kind of Instagram live, so I thought the issue was my end. I went ahead and turned off the cell phone, restarted it. Hopefully we're good.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I was talking to him, and it was doing the exact same thing. So I'm thinking if the same thing happened to two different people, maybe it's something on my end. Maybe it's something as
Instagram
small as just
glitch.
starting line. Yeah. Yep.
I did
So
I did hear a little bit of what he said. I guess he has Ortiz, because he got that power. He's always in that fight. So
oh yeah,
I,
definitely. That's why I want to get him in here too, because that way, because you have Ruiz, correct?
I got Ruiz. Yeah, like I did my prediction video, and I said that they're probably gonna trade knockdowns. I think Luis Ortiz is probably gonna knock down Andrew Ruiz first. But
Mhm.
it's a matter of time before I think Luis Ortiz slows down, and we know Andy Ruiz got those fast hands, and he
Mhm.
throws them in bunches. So I think he's gonna catch him with something he doesn't see coming. That's gonna hurt him, and he's gonna take him out.
I can see that. I can definitely see that happening. Let me try to add my boy Larry in here one more. Oh, I think we might be getting him in here shortly. I think so. Giovanni, what's going on? What's going on? Shout out College Park, man. My neighborhood, they did something nice, man. They
What
had to
up? What
get
up? What up?
together, old school, new school. Everybody got together, man. It was nice to see everybody. There's Larry. There's Larry. So, dog. So y'all got a little bit difference of opinion. Larry, this is my good friend Mo. Mo, this is Larry.
What up, Larry?
Hopefully y'all see a lot of each other on the platform, man.
What's up, man? What's up? So I
Pleasure to
did,
meet you,
I
brother.
did, I did hear what you said. So I agree. Ruiz got hands. I don't trust his chin. But like you said, he said he got knocked down by a jab. Ortiz is
Yeah,
old, bro. Ortiz.
he's
I don't know
old.
if
He's officially 43, but
I don't think
that's
he's
the
43.
birth certificate.
Yes, I said I think he's closer to 50. I think he's closer to 50. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like 50-50. But I can see both people winning, but I'm going with Luis. You know what I'm saying? I'm going with King Kong. But I can see it your way too,
I
though.
got you. I got you.
Respectfully.
Yeah, and I think I would be hesitant too because like Ortiz got that power. We
Yeah.
saw him rock Wilder a few
A
times,
few times.
um,
And he was winning that
but
fight. He was
yeah,
winning
he,
that
he
fight.
was he
He was winning
was.
that fight.
But you guys remember the first Andy Ruiz Anthony Joshua fight? Like Andy Ruiz got knocked down first, so I think
Yeah.
he can take a punch because he came back and then gave Joshua all he could handle.
You're
That's a
right.
fact. That's a fact.
You,
And he's in
let
shape.
me let me ask y'all this too, because this is more so of a question. More so than anything. I don't want to make any assumptions when I say this. It's just a question. So, like I was telling you a little bit ago, Mo, there's a report coming out that Andy Ruiz is going to be coming in at around 270 pounds. So my question is, do you think that weight will play a role into the fight at some point?
Could be that could be a factor. That's heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Depending on how the fight goes. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If it's something that stretches out, then you got Ruiz's weight, and then you got Ortiz's age. What gives? What gives? Larry, how you feel about that, man? You going into a fight 270 pounds, you going into a heavyweight fight. Like, how do you feel? We know he got the fast hands, man, but how you feel about that weight, my brother?
I don't think it's going 12. I don't think it's
Okay.
going 12. I think it's going to be fireworks. I think it's going to be action. I think it's going to be action straight from the bell. Maybe seven. Maybe seven. If it gets in the later rounds, I could see Ruiz, like Andy, handling business. You know what I'm saying? Because the age will play a factor. But I think it's going. They come in and throw hands. I like when
Hmm.
Yeah.
he let his hands go. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like when he let his hands go. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be a good
Hmm.
fight, bro. I don't know if it's going 12. I really don't. If I got my
I
parlay
don't.
up or whatever, that's gonna be a knockout.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised either, man. You're talking about a heavyweight fight. You're talking about fast hands versus power. you know, anything can happen. That's the beauty part about the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited to see what happens with that fight. So we gonna fast forward 1 week, guys. We got us a big card going on with some ladies, man. Two big fights. It's going down. I want to touch over that main event first because that one, and obviously we're going to talk about the co-main event too, but that main event too is a very big fight. You got Clarissa Shields going against Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall is actually the only woman to defeat Clarissa Shields back in the Olympics. It was years ago. So, Larry, I'm gonna start off with you. You got Savannah Marshall. If you haven't seen her before, I'm sure you have. But for the people that
Yeah,
haven't, she's known as a power puncher.
yeah.
Some people have a conversation: is she the biggest power puncher in women's boxing? That's the conversation that sometimes people have with her. Sometimes people have debates, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have Clarissa Shields, obviously master boxer. You know what I mean? If you look at her record, she's beat great fighter after great fighter. I mean, what she's
Yeah.
done is amazing. So that fight, man, how do you see that fight going down between those two ladies?
I think Clarissa going to dance on her, and I mean she has something to prove. I mean I love Shields for everything that she does. You know what I'm saying? And like when we look at her whole record, I think you said the Olympics. I think that's the only loss she lost amateur, like all of that. Like you know what I'm saying? So I know her motivation is to beat her, and you got to think even if she never got this fight again, her career trajectory was pushed after that loss. Like you see what I'm saying? Like she was able to take that, humble the loss, and then keep moving. You know what I mean? Keep moving up, gold medal, winning, and all that stuff. I think it's gonna be beautiful. I think Shields gonna beat her in 12 or 10. I think it's 10 rounds, right? Females is 10
Uh,
rounds.
Ladies World Title fight. I think that one. I think it's 10. I think it's 2 minute
Yeah,
rounds. I think they're gonna do two
Yeah, I
minute.
think so.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
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 but
yeah.
but I
So,
but but I really haven't seen Shields get punched because who was the last girl Savannah fought? Savannah be throwing them shits. Savannah be
well,
throwing
Yeah.
she
like that.
fought. She fought a couple people that Clarissa has fought, but you know, if you look at some of the girls that Savannah has fought and look at some of their records, some people raise eyebrows.
Yeah,
You know, because there are some people that are like 6 and 50 some and what have you. So some people they raise some eyebrows. So, but
yeah,
I'm not doubting that she's a power puncher. I mean, you know, people just have that reaction when they get hit by her. So I think the power is definitely real. Mo, what's the word, my man? How's that ladies main event looking to you?
I gotta agree with you that's been said. I know there a lot of people are giving Savannah Marshall a shot because of that power, and you know if they saw the last knockout that went viral, they're probably like, man, she catches Clarissa Shields, that could be a good night. But I don't think she's gonna catch Clarissa Shields. She's just too skillful. I think she is gonna be using the ring efficiently, moving around. Just amateur versus pro is a completely different game. I understand she lost to her in the amateurs, but she's an elite at the pro, and I think she's gonna show her class.
yeah,
So that
Yeah,
clears the field.
yeah, I agree. Boxer versus puncher is always an enticing matchup, but a lot of times, if it's a special boxer like Clarissa Shields is, I believe in my opinion,
yeah,
majority of the time the boxer is able to frustrate the puncher, and I think this is what's going to happen here too because, like you were saying a little bit ago, Larry, this was the only woman to ever beat Clarissa Shields ever.
yeah,
So
yeah,
as a competitor you remember the only person to ever beat you. If you only got one loss and
yeah.
your
That's like
career is
over
don't
your head.
that one loss, yeah, you're gonna remember who that person is. And if you run into that person again, then that loss that you had is gonna be in the back of your head, and then you're gonna tap into a whole different mindset to try to get back that loss that person is still talking about some years later.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
So
hey Fig, this kind of has something to do with it, but I want to bring it up just because we talk about it. Like
mhm.
what I would like to see moving forward, like I feel like Clarissa is a draw. Like I feel like even Savannah is a draw. What I would like to see is how can I say this? And I'm not like let's say like a main fight. Like let's say like I'm just throwing it out there. Let's say Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. Like what if they had like Shields and Savannah on the undercard of that? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if you put them on the undercard of like big fights, I feel like it would help get their name out in the mainstream. We would pay attention to it more.
Mhm.
That's one thing I would say I liked about Jake Paul. I think Serrano, who's the
Mhm.
girl?
Toronto, yep.
Yeah, it's almost like it's not you're forcing us to watch, but it's like, okay, we're able to watch. Oh, okay, this is real box. Like, you know what I mean? This is real. So
Mhm.
I feel like it would get better out in the mainstream if something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like something as small as that, I feel like they can still get the bag. You know what I mean? But I mean, the hardcore fans are the ones that like us that like, okay, we're gonna watch that shit too. And I feel like to get it in that mainstream, I think it would kind of like this. Look what Dana White does with the UFC.
Mhm.
Same
Mhm.
concept there. You know, but I mean, they're headline over there too, though. But you get what I'm saying, though.
Yep.
Like you're pushing it into the audience. And that, I mean, what y'all think about that? I know it's a little random, but
No, 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 no. That's a good point actually, and I'm all for more eyes to women's boxing because I believe that there's some amazing talent out there. They just need the eyes on them, and that would be a good way to have a big fight like that on another big fight as far as co-main event. But I truly believe like some of these girls, like the Clarissa Shields fight, for example, I think a lot of these girls are able to headline a card on their own. You know
facts,
what I
facts,
Yeah.
mean?
facts, facts, facts,
But
facts, facts.
it's just a matter of you know you know how some people are, man, just towards women's boxing. I'm just gonna put it out there, man. A lot of people are just ignorant. You
Yeah,
see some of the comments and stuff like that, and they'll have a big fight that they're promoting women's boxing, and then you see some idiot they say, well, we don't care about this, make me a sandwich, just all kind of
yeah,
ignorant stuff.
yeah,
And it's frustrating because like I said, bro, there's some amazing talent out there. I can name so many from Michaela Mayer, Alicia Bumgarner, who we're going to be seeing, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall. Like we're talking. There's just so many.
yeah,
Cruz
Jessica
Dezern,
McCaskill.
Justin McCaskill. There's so much talent out there. Micaiah Krebs, who you're going to be seeing soon. So it's like these girls just need an opportunity. So whatever that they can do to give them that, if it takes putting them on the big cards like that, I'm down with that too. As far as making them a co-main event.
and not necessarily always, but I think it would help give them that kind of like that speed boot, like that jump, that little quick jump. Like, okay, like, you know what I mean? More people gonna pay attention because it's good boxing. Boxing is boxing.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I'm saying?
is.
So it's like, like I feel like Shields has done a great job of building her brand. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so just a little bit more, a little bit more. I feel like it could help. I'm just throwing it out there.
Mo, how you feel
Yeah.
about that, man? I think he made a good point.
He brings an excellent point. I mean, we saw how big women's boxing can be. Like Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, Madison Square Garden, main event. That's probably the number one world stage for women's boxing. But there's no reason why there can't be another fight just like that. That just action packed. I even would go as far as saying like this co-main event with Mayer and Bumgarner, that could have been a main event. That's,
Yeah,
that's a good matchup.
yeah,
That actually the next one we gotta go into, and I think that Mayor Bumgardner, they could headline I think they could headline their own card like on ESPN Plus. I
Hmm.
think they could, man. I think that's a good fight. Mo, Mayor and Bumgardner, man. You got
I'm
two
torn,
veterans.
man.
How's that fight looking to you?
Man, I'm torn, man. So Mayor, I think she reached out of Los Angeles, and we got Bumgarner out of Detroit, Michigan. Both U.S. fighters, both highly skilled. I think it's gonna be a chess match. I think it's gonna be a close decision, and I'm leaning towards Mayor. I think she's gonna edge it out.
Yeah, they're both dogs. I'll say that because I was gonna say Michaela Mayer's a dog, but I remember Bumgarner, and I'm like, she's a dog too. So they're both dogs, man. Joe, what's going on, my brother? Larry, I
what
know
up,
I know
Joe?
you said that you weren't really locked in. Well, not really locked, but as far as like the co-main event, you've seen them, but not really as much. Do you got any kind of any word you want to
I
put in on this co-main event before we get to the next one?
What up, Joe? What up, Joe? I've seen Bumgarner. I haven't seen Mayer, so I would not like to put.
I can't hear you. Derek, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I got a
Yes.
call.
Yeah.
But now I was saying, yeah, you can hear me. All right, good. So I've seen Bumgarner. I haven't seen Mayer. So I don't want to go ahead and put my thoughts. I don't want to. I respectfully, out of respect to their fighters. You know what I'm saying? But
I respect that. I respect that.
give me the night. I just got off vacation. Give me the night. Let me watch a few videos. We can talk tomorrow for
We
sure.
good, hey, we good, my brother. We good, man. It's definitely gonna be two good ones, man. You'll definitely enjoy once you pull up Mare. You know, it'll bring some intrigue once you know, kind of see how she fights. It's definitely gonna be a good one. But the week after that, y'all, we got a fight that some people are like, I don't really want to see that. Some people are like, yeah, I want to see it. Mo, you shaking your head, you know I'm going with this, man. We got part 3, we got Triple G, and then we got Saul Canelo Alvarez. Mo, what does this do for you, man? Part 3, is it too late? Are you still intrigued by this? Like, what does this fight do for you at this point?
I mean, nothing to me at this point. You know, I'm gonna watch it because I'm a Canelo fan, but I think at this stage in the careers, you know, Canelo coming off a loss to Bivol, you know, Triple G, you know, he did look good against Murata, but again, he's up there in age, and I don't think he's gonna knock out Canelo. I think if anything, he might get knocked out, and I am more disappointed that we're getting this fight instead of Canelo Jamal Charlo or Canelo David Benavidez, because that's what I
Man,
want to see.
Yeah.
you preaching to the choir right there, man. We've had several different conversations about that particular weight range and about Big Charlo,
Yeah.
to be specific, because we all see the talent in him. Like, it's no hating involved with him at all. The frustrating thing as a fan is we see the talent in Jamal Charlo, so it's like we want to see that talent come out now. We need another big fighter to go against you, so we can see that talent come out of you that we know is there. We've seen it. But it's
Yeah.
like, okay, when is this fight going to happen now? Because he's like 32. So it's like fans are like, yo, if it don't happen soon, when is it going to happen? That's the frustration. It's nothing against him. It's like, okay, fans are they're getting restless because they see what his brother did. See what his
Yeah.
brother did. His brother became undisputed. So it's like, okay, brother, tap into your
Are they?
greatness now. We know you got it in you. Y'all could be the greatest fighting twins in boxing history. It's possible.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
frustrating thing I think it is with
Are they fighting
Jamal
at
Charlo, my thing.
168 or a catch weight?
Who?
Are
With Charlo, I
Triple
was
G and Canelo. Triple G Canelo. Are they at 168 or a catch weight?
68.
68.
So Triple G is moving up, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my thing. I know you ain't asked me fix what I gotta say. Like, I feel like I don't think Triple G looked that good against Murata. Like, I knew he was gonna stop him, but I also gonna say this. Like, I feel like Triple G is like, you was on that waiting shit. Like, what the fuck you waiting? Like, you waiting for Canelo. Like, that's the only. You know how many fights he could have made? Like, I mean, real talk. Like, I would have liked to see Jamal and Triple G. Andre Triple G. Benavidez is at 168, but I feel like Canelo got the advantage at 168. I agree to age. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. I've never seen Triple G at 168. So, I mean, it might help him, but I don't think it is. But, you know what I'm saying? But Canelo is used to that weight already. I think he 3-4 fights there already, or 3 fights there, or, you know what I'm saying? A few fights, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel like Triple G did the waiting game with Canelo. I feel like everybody in that little 160, 168 range is waiting for Canelo. I wish they would just fight each other, because it's still great fights that I don't mind paying for, that I can see. Like, Triple G could have fought 2-3 people waiting for Canelo, but you fighting Murata, some other motherfucker.
Steve Rolls.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
yep,
I
absolutely,
don't know
bro.
what it is. And like, I mean, Triple G was old on the other fights. Like, I mean, call it what it is. Triple G, like, old. Like, Triple G, like, he started late. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
You feel me? Like, I don't know, man. But I'm still going to pay. I will still pay money for it. I'm still going to watch it.
Hey, you're supporting boxing. You're supporting boxing. There you go.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? But
what it's about. Yep. It's just one of them things, man. Mo, what do you think about what I was saying about Charlo though, and this fight also? You can kind of touch on both. I want to get your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, his younger. Oh, I don't know if he's younger, but smaller Charlo, like, he did come undisputed, and Jamal Charlo, immense talent, and we've seen glimpses of it when he stepped in competition. But his resume is lacking, and I think we would want to see. And unfortunately, we're close to getting him before Oscar De La Hoya pulled the plug. But like Charlo Jaime Munguia, that would have been a hell of a fight. And they were so close to signing. Like Charlo had signed, Munguia had signed, and then Oscar De La Hoya said, "Oh, hold up, the zone's not involved on this. No fight." And I think that would have been, a fight that really shows what Charlo's got, and even make the call for Canelo versus Charlo even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree with you on that. So let me ask y'all this. So what happens next after this fight, right? After Triple G, Canelo Part 3, that's over with. Win or lose, what's next for Canelo Alvarez? Because obviously, I think this is, Triple G doesn't have much time left. Obviously, we're talking about 40 years old, and this is
Yeah.
with all due respect. We're talking about 40 years old. When we get to, when you start talking about that age, you're on the back end of your career, unless you're someone like Bernard Hopkins, who's an alien who's just getting started at 40 years old, but that's very rare.
Yeah.
So if we talk about Canelo, who's very much still, in his prime, what happens next? Does he stay at 168? Does he go to 175, try to fight Bivol again? Like, what's going on with that? Because he's got some stuff that he can do.
Canelo gonna do what the hell he want to do. That no one knows. No one knows. Canelo might go to 175. Who the fuck knows? Canelo gonna do whatever I have no idea like what the hell Canelo is planning on doing. Cause like didn't he said he's not fighting Mexican fighters anymore.
He said that.
You know what I'm saying? He said he's not fighting Mexican fighters anymore. So I would love to see him and Benavidez. Like that, I would like to see that live. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, what the hell? Yeah, Joe. He gonna stay. He gonna ride it out. He gonna ride it out, bro. So, I don't know. I don't know what his plan is. You know what I mean? What else is there for him to do to accomplish? Honestly.
Accomplished wise, he's done a lot. I did see a tweet. He could have been just talking. You know how sometimes people say crazy things, but it said he wouldn't rule out catch weight with Usyk.
I saw that too.
I think it goes back to what you were saying, Larry. You put it perfectly. Canelo's going to do whatever he wants to do, and if it means something as far as fighting Usyk, which if that's what he wants to do, then by all means do it. But I would like to see him hang around that 168, 175 pound weight range, because I think there's so many fights to be made within that range that people are actually wanting to see. It goes back to what you were saying about Benavidez. That's a fight that people are calling for his name, and people are like, yo, this guy is a legitimate threat to you. So that's a fight that people want to see. Mo, how do you feel like Canelo? What do you? Yep. Go ahead.
Quick question. When you get
Yes, sir.
50 million a fight, I just don't think he cares about who. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get 50 million a fight. It don't matter to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can fight anybody. Like, like I don't have nothing to prove, and that's what bothers me. Like we talk about 4 to 5 years. You could have already, did something. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he tried to sneak into the division, grab that real quick. You know what I'm saying? He got a loss. No one was expecting him to lose. I didn't think Bivol was going to beat him. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I think he might be at the tail end of his career, dog.
Who you talk about, Canelo?
Canelo.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I think Larry's on something though, because he started super young as a pro boxer. So if you look at the total amount of rounds he's had, and total number of fights, he's probably had enough fights like Luis Ortiz, 43-year-old. He's got those rounds on him. And to kind of answer your question of like what's next for Canelo, he's unpredictable. I would want to see him fight David Benavidez. I think he's kind of the unofficial champion at that weight, because he never lost the championship like in the ring. Like he lost it once with the scale, and the other time with I believe the cocaine incident. So I would basically cement Canelo's status, saying like I completely wiped out the 168 division, all the top dogs. There's nothing left for me to do, and now he can just pick and choose what he wants to do from that. But kind of the counter argument, I think a lot of these fighters though aren't really earning that Canelo fight. Like they if you look at the resume and saying like who have they fought recently, they're kind of playing it safe, waiting for that call from Canelo. And I hope that, whoever doesn't get the next call to fight Canelo steps up and fights somebody else. Like we can get Benavidez versus Caleb Plant, and that would be a really good fight.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. That'd be a good fight. That'd be a good fight.
That's-
That'd be a good fight.
Absolutely,
Benavidez
yep. And I
stopped
feel
Darrell,
like,
didn't he?
yeah, he stopped Darrell. He did stop Darrell. Darrell's got a fight coming up. Well, actually, not. Well, yeah, I guess you could say coming up. It was just signed. He's fighting Caleb Plant.
Yeah, that's what
Uh,
I'm saying. I would like to see that. Plant and Benavidez would be a great fight.
Yes, yeah, because they have some bad blood. Those two guys do not like each other. There's actually a video. It's got some age on it now, but there's a video of them getting into a scuffle, the Benavidez brothers with Caleb Plant. It was at a gym. It wasn't anything crazy or anything, but you could tell they were going at it back and forth. So there's some history between those two, and it goes back to what you were saying though. It's frustrating, kind of people waiting for the Canelo fight when there's so much talent there. I mean, Demetrius Andrade is his name that we haven't even brought up yet.
Yeah.
And he's another immensely talented fighter that we're just waiting to see another fighter, bring that greatness that we know. We've seen it. We just want to see him tap into another level that we know that, he has. And then, the competition that he's been in the ring with, it just doesn't bring it out of him because he's getting rid of guys second, third round. So we're not really able to see fully what he's capable of. And as a fan, you want to see the best fighters showcase their talent. You know what I mean? My son's in here. What's going on, buddy? Appreciate you tapping in, man. Hope you're going to bed soon. Hope you're going to bed soon, man. But yeah, appreciate you tapping in. But so all right, with Canelo, and then we got one more that I kind of want to touch over, and then I'm gonna let y'all boys go. We have who I believe is probably the best young fighter in the game right now. This is just my personal opinion. You know what I mean? Do what you want with it. But Shakur Stevenson, he's going to be fighting in Newark. He's going to be defending his belt against, I always get this guy's last name jacked up. I'm sorry. Robert Consensau, I believe. If I messed it up, I apologize. Hopefully I was close enough. But he's fighting back home, man. So I want to know how y'all feel about Shakur Stevenson as a fighter, and how do y'all feel about this particular matchup? Chop Corley just tapped in too. Shout out to Champ.
Yeah,
And
you want to go first on this one, Larry?
What up, champ? Yeah, I can go. Yeah.
mhm.
I love Shakur, so I don't want to feel biased, but you know what I mean. I love Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Shakur gonna stop him. Like Shakur definitely gonna stop him. Like this is just food. This is just food, real quick. This is just like, you know what I mean. This is easy work. Earlier when I was talking about as far as like balancing people out, I am a little biased to Keyshawn Davis because like I'm from the 757 area, but I love how they're pairing them together. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like you can see how they're balancing that out. I think Bob Arum's doing a great job with that. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You know what I mean? How he's got them both on the cards and stuff like that. But I mean, Shakur, the guy he's fighting, Conceição, lost to Oscar Valdez. I think he did a while back, a couple of years ago. Like Shakur boxing is different. Like that's different. That's like that's like Mayweather, man. Like you not like, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna see Shakur in some like real battles until like all these young people get together. Like, you know what I mean? The group, like Devin Haney. Like I would love to see Devin Haney and Shakur. That's gonna be that's a chess match I would love to see. Like, you know what I mean? Tank and Shakur. Like these people not on Shakur level. Shakur on a different. It's different. It's different, man. I can't even. I mean, I think we all know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, man. I got. Yeah, I got Shakur. I got Shakur on that one too, man. Shakur, like you said, is just different. Just different.
Joe said he beat him. Joe said Valdez lost to. Well, he said he beat Valdez and got robbed.
Yeah, unofficially. It was a close fight. It could have been to Consecuo's favor.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
rewatch that. Man, I'm gonna have to rewatch that. My bad, Mo. My bad, Mo.
No, all good. And like, I mean, Valdez Consequia was a close fight, but Stevenson Valdez was not a close fight at all. And Shakur Stevenson, he's in my top 10 pound for pound. Very special generational talent, and he makes great fighters look bad. Like even Joey Gonzalez, he was an up and coming contender, and we saw how bad he looked with Shakur Stevenson. He's been in some decent fights since that, the competitive fights. And
Mhm.
Oscar Valdez, I believe 2 division world champion, no chance. He was frustrated in there. So I'm thinking Shakur Stevenson's going to comfortably win this one. And I'm with you, Larry. I don't think he's going to be tested until he starts moving up in weight and, maybe fighting naturally bigger guys, like 135, 140. He might start struggling there because he's just fighting bigger guys.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think where he's at right now, his particular weight class, there isn't, anyone that is on his level, and you can even say that throughout all the course of boxing as far as like who's on his level. So let me ask y'all this question real quick, because we were kind of dipping our toe in the other weight classes when we're talking about him. So if you look at him as a fighter, right? Who would you say in that 135, 140 weight class, if you're going to say, that guy might give Shakur some problems? If you look at the pool, because you got all the young guys, you got the Haneys, you got the Tank Davises. If you want to put Ryan Garcia in there, you can. You got the Lomachinkos of the world. You got the Teofimo Lopez of the world. You got the Josh Taylors at 140 still. He's not at 147 yet. He's at 140 still. You got the Ramirez's of the world. You got the Prograys of the world. So, like, in that 135 140 realm, do you see any kind of style or any kind of fighter that could possibly give Shakur some problems?
For sure, Tank Davis. He's the type of fighter that can be losing a fight and be outboxed, but he's got that punch that always keeps him in there. So, I think Shakur Stevens has got to be on his A game and not lose concentration for, even a split second, because that could be the game changer. Tank Davis. Devin Haney also has a good chance, being a good fight with Shakur Stevenson, I think.
Okay. And I'm seeing some good comments too. I see Regis. I see one of the Vargas kids is coming up. I see Rayo in here. So some good stuff. Hey Larry, you see anybody within that oh, matter of fact, I think he's tapping back in. I think something happened and we lost him. He just sent another request to tap in, and we're gonna see if there anybody that Larry likes in that little pool uh, of fighters there in that 135, 140 realm. I think we may have lost him.
Yeah,
I think we may have lost him. Yeah,
I
yeah,
was about to ask offline.
yeah. But I definitely appreciate you tapping in, man. It's always good talking boxing with you, man. Hopefully this is the first of many. Uh,
Appreciate the invite again, and I'm looking forward to all these fights in September. Great month of
definitely,
boxing.
definitely, man. We Larry sent me the request one more time, so we're gonna get Larry back in here just for a little bit. Then I'm gonna let y'all boys go.
Yo, I'm back.
There he
I'm
is.
back.
Did you
Yeah,
get
my bad. My
the?
bad. My bad.
You good? You good, my brother? You good?
Yeah.
But yeah, in that little 140 realm, I want you to answer this, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. In that little realm, when we talk about 135, 140, is there anybody that you think could give Shakur Stevenson some serious problems?
So I'm gonna say Devin Haney, just because I feel like the IQs are like, if we talking about, let's say 1 to 10, I feel like the IQs are like, I don't think anybody's outthinking those boys in the ring. Like unless they outthink each other type stuff. I feel like I have Shakur over Devin Haney though, but I feel like Devin Haney would probably give him the most problems. But I feel like Shakur can put more weight on. Like I feel like it's when they fight. Like I feel like Shakur can be at 147 when it's all said and done. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I think Tank. I saw somebody put Tank. I think Tank too small. Like when you thinking like that, like they going. It's the range. Like I don't see them getting in enough timing. Or I mean, Keyshawn never gonna fight Shakur. They already came out and said they'll never fight each other. But I mean, just to play, just so we just talking, Keyshawn Davis. But they never gonna fight. But like, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Like somebody with power like that, but that has the movement, the IQ, and all of that. That's what I'm looking at. But I mean, I got Devin Haney. Mo, I didn't hear what y'all said though. Mo and Fix, what y'all pick?
I picked Devin Haney. I think he can give him a lot of problems. Agree with you, Larry, that they're pretty similar IQ levels in the ring. And I also think Tank Davis, just because of the power, like he's the type of fighter that could be losing the entire fight, but if he catches you with that counter, like we saw with Rolly Romero, that's a fight changer. So
So
I would think that Shakur Stevenson would have to be on his A game for that whole 12 rounds.
yeah, let me ask y'all real. See, stuff keeps popping in my head. I'm like, let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this. All right, there's one name that I didn't hear anybody say anything about, and I didn't even bring it up. Lomachenko. How do y'all feel? Do y'all feel like it would? How do y'all feel like that matchup would go out? Would it be easy work, or do y'all feel like Lomachenko's angles and things like that could possibly do a little something?
Mo, I'll let you go first.
I don't think at this stage in the careers Lomachenko will be a challenge to Shakur Stevenson.
Okay.
I think we saw what happened with Lomachenko to Fima Lopez, where he showed a lot of respect in those early rounds, and then it was too late for him to make a comeback. I think he's gonna show a lot of respect to Shakur Stevenson, and when he goes in that second gear, it's gonna be too late. Like it's gonna be a coast decision for Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah. I think Mr. Mackey said in the comments, he said the mystique is gone on Loma. I agree with that. Like no one's scared of Loma no more. I don't think no one's scared of Loma no more. And earlier I was about to say this as far as about Tank. I like Tank. Like I'm gonna pay for the fight. So when I say these things, I'm not saying I ain't gonna watch this shit. Like I'm definitely gonna pay for it. I feel like Tank's downfall is I feel like he's a great boxer, but I feel like he doesn't win a lot of rounds. Like he stops people, but if you notice in all of his fights, like if you look at the Rolly fight, if you look at the
Santa
Barrios fight,
Cruz,
Isaac Cruz. Now I would like
Isak
to see that if
Cruz.
he
Yep.
don't get hurt. Isak Cruz, I would like to see that too. I feel like Tank gives up a lot of rounds.
Hmm.
When you going against people like Shakur and Devin, before you fucking, you know what I mean? You're down fucking 8 to, but you know what I mean? Like it's over. Like the shit is like, like the shit is over for real. So that's
yeah.
the one thing, the downfall when I look at Tank's game. That's the one thing now I understand the knockout power. I love watching him fight. That's the one thing when I watch Tank. Tank gives up too many rounds. Like when he fought Rolly, we all know what the fuck about to happen to Rolly. But if this shit go 12, we were looking at a split decision on fucking with Rolly. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, Rolly was winning rounds, not doing much.
Hmm.
If Tank get in the ring, with Devin Haney, Devin Haney gonna beat Tank. All he got to do is stay away from, you know what I mean? Stay away from the power and box him. And I feel like that's going to frustrate Tank. Now, if Tank get in the ring with Ryan Garcia, I think it's going to be fireworks.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
fireworks. I think it'll be
I
fireworks.
I agree. Because Ryan Garcia's hand speed, man. Well, people can say whatever they want to, about him, but I think one thing that can be debated is his hand speed is up there, amongst the elite in all of boxing, and
That power. Don't sleep on that
yeah,
power. Don't
he's got
sleep.
power. He's
That's
definitely
right.
got power. But what makes that fight interesting is Ryan Garcia does some things wrong fundamentally that he's able to make up for with his hand speed,
Yeah.
considering he's so fast. Because a lot of times he pulls straight back and his head is on a center line, and he got dropped for it when he fought Luke Campbell.
Yeah.
He got hit with that looping, and was caught. So Luke Campbell and Gervonta Davis, as far as power, is a whole nother spectrum. Like if he gets hit with a Tank Davis punch like that, he's gonna get knocked out. The fight's gonna be over.
How'd you
Um,
feel when Ryan's last fight? Like I felt like I think he got a new trainer. I could
mhm,
tell he wasn't as flat footed as he normally is. You know what I'm saying? I feel like once he went like, okay, he realized old boy couldn't hurt him. Like
mhm.
after a certain, but in the beginning, he was doing way more movement than he normally does. And I feel like the more he works and the more he trains on it, Ryan gonna be scary at 140 and 147, dog. Cause that power and speed, that shit is real.
Yeah, I think
And
it's
that
Joe
motherfucker
Goossen.
big. That motherfucker
Um,
ain't little. He not no little
that's
motherfucker, dog.
you're you're right. You're right. I think it's Joe Goossen that he's working with, if I'm not mistaken. And Joe
That'd be
Goossen,
right.
Yep, Joe Goosen. He's worked out. He's worked with some big name fighters, and then he said Ryan Garcia's power is up there as far as pound for pound. Fighters that he's worked with. So that says a lot, man. So you have to respect his power. But Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia is a fight that I definitely want to see because Tank is 5'5". You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's something right there. That counts for something. As amazing as a boxer as Tank is, he's world class, amazing, love him. He's still 5'5". So what happens when he fights a fighter that's able to fight long and keep him at the end, of his punches? What happens at that point? And I think Ryan Garcia is someone that does that. So now I want to see what kind of adjustment Tank Davis is able to make and kind of go from there. Fellas, I definitely appreciate y'all, man. See, I see this right here. I can do this all night. I know I'm not gonna hold y'all all night. I know y'all live important lives. Y'all got stuff to do, so I'm not gonna hold y'all all night. But fellas, I appreciate more than anything y'all tapping in and talking boxing with me.
All right, thanks for the invite, Larry. Pleasure meeting you, brother. He may have froze. All right.
I think he
Catch
may
you
have
later, brother.
But
Yeah.
Mo, before you head out, man, let
Yeah.
people know like your channel, plug in like your YouTube, your Instagram, all that stuff, man, so that way people know where to find you.
Yeah, so my name's Jose from Mo Boxing No Problem. You can find me on Instagram, handle Mo Boxing No Problem, and you can also find me on YouTube, the same handle. And tap in and subscribe to the channel because we got big things cooking. We got some big interviews lined up. Lee Wood's going to be on the channel right before his fight. Rick Ramos potentially going to be on the channel soon. Getting some big names in there. So tap in and subscribe.
Hey man, much respect to you and shout out to everything that you're doing over there. Hopefully, this live session and this dialogue is going to be first of many. Y'all make sure y'all look out for Mo, and y'all will see plenty of Mo still, hopefully, and plenty of Larry still. Larry, you frozen? You good? Or before we head out, man, you breaking you breaking up, my brother? You breaking up? All right. So I guess Larry's working, but y'all see Larry all the time, on the show. Make sure y'all follow Larry. Make sure y'all follow Jose. Man, I definitely once again appreciate everything, and I will see y'all next time, everybody.
All right.
Peace. Peace.